Horror Hound here at the beautiful Vista Theater in Hollywood, California for the red carpet premiere of Ross Patterson's newest film, Helen Keller vs. Nightwolves. I'm here on the red carpet for the world premiere of Helen Keller vs. Nightwolves with the writer and director himself, Ross Patterson.
Star, producer, we can throw those two in there if you want.
Just everything.
All of it.
With just the entire credit
I might
list.
even tape down this red carpet. Who knows? I might even tape that down.
What can you tell us about this film that we're about to see?
Craziest movie ever made. The craziest fucking film you'll ever see in your entire life.
I mean,
it's the last, and truthfully, it's the last shot at original comedies. Studios aren't making shit like this. This is the only time you're gonna see something this fucking crazy, and it's awesome. Like, it's fucking rad. I held no punches.
This film is probably the best film ever made. It was a labor of love. It was a labor of a lot of things, but it's a great film. Good acting, very funny, a little bit gory. Not for everybody, but for everybody here.
What else can I say? It's the worst movie ever made.
But in a good way.
Well, supposedly, So therefore, I'm one of the worst actors that ever acted.
It's biographical in nature. It's the true story of Helen Keller.
The true story. So what is the story of Helen Keller?
I can't tell you until you watch the film, but let's just say they're nightwolves and blindness.
It's a horror film that is based on reality. There's something happened that made Helen Keller blind and deaf. Now, some people believe it was because she was born that way, but we really know that it was the Nightwolves that did it.
I love the fact that he can incorporate gore and horror and comedy into one amazing thing. I love that he makes bad movies on purpose.
This film will change your outlook on films in the future.
There's gratuitous pornography throughout the entire film.
Gratuitous?
There are several ankle shots that I am very uncomfortable with.
Helen Keller vs. Nightwolves.
Yes.
Comedy, horror, where does it lie on the spectrum?
50-50. So when you get into it, it's you'll see comedy and horror, obviously, but will you see a live wolf? Absolutely not. That's St. James Street James. So you're going to see one of the worst movies ever on purpose.
We've been trying to get it made for, 3 or 4 years now. I know it may be hard to believe, but a movie with a title like Helen Keller vs. Nightwolves is a little tricky to get financed. But it happened, we made it, I'm very excited about it.
Are you allowed to talk about the budget, working with, what kind of budget did we have working on this film?
Endless dollars.
Endless dollars.
Any problem that we had, we threw just money.
Literally just throwing bills into the air.
Sometimes coins, but gold coins.
Gold coins, the good ones, the Sacagawea dollars.
Yes, exactly right.
For a low-budget film, we had plenty of blood.
Do you prefer working on stage versus behind a camera?
I prefer whoever is hiring me right now. I love working on stage. I'm a big house performer. I was a full-time opera singer for 10, 11 years. I enjoyed it. I don't really do it anymore.
You have a laundry list of credits, working on numerous different television shows, films throughout decades of work. Mm-hmm. A lot of guest starring roles. Can you talk a little about the key to being a successful working actor?
It's mainly saying yes and just outliving all your competition.
I think perseverance. Never give up.
You just learn how to audition. You learn that an audition is as important as the job, and you prepare, and then you take not anything that comes down the pike, but a lot of stuff, just for the experience and just for working with interesting people.
Not only someone that's writing, directing, producing their own thing, but to get all these people showing up and to get that support, what's your secret, man?
Truthfully, it's the fans. Like, if I didn't write cool shit time and time again, you wouldn't get people waiting in line. So literally every time I write a script, I feel pressure of like, all right, let's top the last one and make sure I can get 500 people in line for the next one.
Well, get a camera and make a movie. That's my words of inspiration. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. You have to be able, as an actor or a director or a writer, you're a salesman. You have to sell yourself as the product, right? As an actor, as a writer, your script is the product. As the director, the finished film is your product. So make your own movie. That's my advice.
Look, through the digital era right now, everybody's able to make films. So keep shooting. If you were a true filmmaker, there's no reason not to be shooting every fucking day, because you can.
It was real, you know, it gets real. And it shouldn't be discouraging to people making movies. There's always problems. There's never enough money, no matter how much money you have. Every day is a challenge. The key is to have a good script, I think, to start with, and good actors and a good crew to follow that, a good director. Everything kind of falls down from that mindset.
I happen to know, because talking to people out here and following you to your house every night, there's a new project that you're working on.
Yes.
What can you tell us about that?
Range 15. It is a zombie apocalypse movie for the military. It is the first ever movie that is financed entirely by veterans that are starring veterans.
They were trying to raise 300 grand on Indiegogo. They raised over $1 million.
And then there's William Shatner. A bunch of celebrities have signed on: Keith David, Randy Couture, Danny Trejo. And it is as crazy as you think. A midget bites somebody's dick off.
This one will probably be, after this best movie ever made. Range 15 will then probably be the
next best movie ever made. Have you ever had an idea in a movie that you're just like coming up with an idea like, no, that's too ridiculous. I don't think that'll work in a movie.
You're at Helen Keller versus Nightwolves. It doesn't get any more ridiculous than this.
That's it.
It does not get any
right
more.
there.
This is it right here.
This is it. This is pretty much, this is the epitome.
A romance novel for dudes. You're living in the most ridiculous shit of all time.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about Nerds Like Us.
Nerds Like Us is essentially kind of a multimedia platform for nerd gatherings. We produce events of various variety. We have midnight movie series of 80s and 90s nerd culture classics, bringing stuff like Ghostbusters, Goonies, Back to the Future, Hocus Pocus, and Hook to the big screen for awesome giant crowds of people to enjoy films that they never got to appreciate when they were younger back on the big screen. And so that's a lot of fun. We also do after parties for conventions all over the country.
A lot of people just do interviews and then they leave and they walk away and everything's fine. We hug. Come on.
I feel like, bring it in right here, you
Right
guys.
there.
I like
Right
this.
there.
Oh, feel the love.
We hug. We hug here.
Good evening, my name is Jesse Merlin, and I'm here to tell you to keep the fear alive.
This is Bobby Ray Shafer. Keep the fear alive.
I'm Barry Bostwick. Keep the fear alive.
This is Richard Reilly. Keep the fear alive.
Hi, my name is Ross Patterson. Keep the fear alive. Because I want to be natural about it. I want to be completely natural about it. No, my name is Ross Patterson. Keep the fucking fear alive. Keep the fear alive. Ross Patterson, keep the fear alive. Keep it alive.
You don't want them to have to. Ross just walked right in front of the camera. What an asshole.